Hey guys, I'm live. I'm live here, and we're gonna try to redo this because I don't know what's going on with um the live on my laptop. So we're gonna do it this way. We're gonna do it this way. So here's the here's the weather map here on WeatherWise. You're probably going to hear alarms and stuff, but here it is. Here's what it looks like here on WeatherWise on the home view. So we're going to pull out the radar, and as you guys can see, there was some severe warnings across Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Texas and Louisiana. And it says we do got a slow connection on the live, which is fine. Doing this on my phone. Hopefully tomorrow we'll have the laptop fixed. But that pink is a severe thunderstorm watch. These are severe thunderstorm warnings. This is mesoscale discussions. And I can see the comments on the phone as I'm doing this, so I'm using my phone to do this. So here's what it looks like across Kentucky. There's nothing around the area. Let's go to composite and hit play. Look at those storms down there. But we need to focus on what's up here in our area. Because you can see there's rain. I need to probably share this. No, I can't share this. So I have to share this when I get done with this. So here's what it looks like. We're supposed to get some rain overnight. So we're going to pull up the Litchfield camera. Here's what it looks like. We're going to full screen this where you guys can see this better off the Hazcam. Yeah, I think there's an issue with the live thing. I'm going to have to try to get that fixed before tomorrow, because I have to do a live stream tomorrow on YouTube. We're going to be reacting to WWE Backlash. But here's full screen. Here's the Litchfield camera on Hazcam. You can see Highway 62. Let me put this phone a little closer so you can see. Yes, it's a little fuzzy. It looks like someone just jumped on. Welcome, whoever you are. But that is the Litchfield Hazcam. Now we're going to back out. And we're going to look at Louisville. Let's see what it looks like up in Louisville. Hazcams. I'm going to full screen that. Here's Louisville. Downtown Louisville. Hello again to everybody, to whoever's watching. If y'all got any comments or questions, comment them down below in the comments, in the live chat. But there's Louisville. So next we're going to look at is Gage, Kentucky, which is over in western Kentucky. Let's look at Gage, Kentucky, over in western Kentucky. We're going to full screen that on Hascams. Which is over here in western Kentucky. So here's what it looks like in Gage. Nice clear sky. You can see the stars in the sky. I don't know why it's so black and white on this camera. I think this camera is in night mode. That's my guess. And then we're going to look at Moorhead, Kentucky. We'll screen that on Hascams. When I get done with this, I'm going to share this to my groups, because I'm having to use my phone because the streaming thing on my laptop's messing up. For some reason, I'm going to try to hope it irons out and fixes itself before tomorrow. So let's look at Moorhead, Kentucky. And we're going to full screen that. And just so you guys know, that's not rain. That's just stuff blowing around in the wind. Or stuff just blowing around in the breeze. That's not rain. But there's Moorhead, Kentucky. There's that big, humongous water tower with the light on top of it. And if y'all want to, we can look at Litchfield again. We can go back and look at Litchfield. We'll go back and look at Litchfield again for the people who's joining in from Litchfield after we look at Pikeville. So here's Pikeville, Kentucky. So here's Pikeville, Kentucky. You can see the mountains. Let me full screen this a little better. There you go. There's the mountains. You can see a big thing of light down there. Pikeville is in the town, is in the mountains. And for people who's watching from Litchfield, we'll look at Litchfield again. We'll look at right here in Litchfield. Yes, the weather things are going on. The weather tones are on. That's warnings going through. When you have a radar like this, you get warnings for pretty much all 50 states. But for me on this radar, I draw a line on what to cover. So here's Litchfield again. There's Highway 62. But there's Litchfield. There's the water tower by the middle school. But there's Litchfield for you guys. Okay, now we're going to... As you guys can see, let me hit play. Supposed to get some rain. We might be getting some rain later on tonight. But before we do that, for those of y'all that's new here, and I go over this every time I do weather updates for the people that's new here about what color the warnings and watches are on this new radar. So let's look at, set out with the tornado warning polygon, which it's light red for radar indicated. Observed tornado is usually dark red. PDS tornado warning, particularly dangerous situation, is purple. Emergency is like a pink, either a purplish pink, whatever color it is. And then severe thunderstorm warnings are usually yellow, but they're considerable if they're orange if they're considerable. Destructive is like a reddish pink. Give me a second. Give me a second, guys. And EDS, whatever that is, extremely dangerous situation, is purple. I would say that's probably another level of destructive. Then the flash flood warnings are light green. Observed flash flood warnings are red. PDS flash flood warnings is purple. Flash flood emergencies are magenta. Let's look at the tornado watches. Tornado watches are usually yellow, but when it's a PDS tornado watch, particularly dangerous situation, it's purple. And severe thunderstorm watches are usually pink, which is actually what you see on the radar down there in parts of Arkansas. So severe thunderstorm watches are pink, and apparently there's a PDS, particularly dangerous situation, severe thunderstorm watch, that's purple. And then we got flash flood watch, which is normally dark green. And PDS flash flood watches are purple. So now we're going to close that off so it's out of the way. We're going to look at the outlook suspected. We're going to start with the probabilistic outlook, which is down here. This is for like severe weather probabilistic. You see the brown is outside of this area. Covers a good chunk of the southern United States. Then you got yellow going from Arkansas, Louisiana, Texas. Then you got red from and right through the middle of Texas. But that is actually for Sunday. Let's look at day 4 for Monday. No, nothing there. Let's look at day 5 for Tuesday. Nothing there. But then again, I need to look up. Nope, nothing there. So it's just for Sunday, it shows that. Let's look at the categorical severe weather risk. So here's day 1. Wow. Here's day 1 for today. Marginal risk from Missouri down through Florida. It is so awkwardly angled, if you guys can see that. And then you got a level 2 slight risk across Texas and Oklahoma. That is so awkwardly angled. Let's go to day 2, which is tomorrow. Severe weather risk, marginal down here. And then we got another one across Oklahoma and Kansas up toward northern of Colorado up to Wyoming. And then there's a level 2 slight from Oklahoma to Texas. And another marginal risk up across Ohio and Michigan and Pennsylvania and New York. And there's another one over here across Maryland and Delaware. And look at this. It all goes around us. It all goes around us. Now let's look at Sunday. What do we have for Sunday? Of course, to be expected. This is the area that I was just showing you. Marginal risk. Slight risk across Texas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas, and parts of Louisiana. And just for giggles, we're going to look at the threats with that. So the wind threat No, I'm sorry, hail threat. That looks like the highest is the hatched area across Oklahoma, and which is today, and then there's tomorrow for Saturday. 2 different hail threats with the better chance from Texas to Oklahoma. I don't get it why they have the hatched area on the lower risk. It just gets me. Here's the wind risk. Same thing. Wind risk. Day 2. Wind risk in those areas. Jeez. 3 different areas. No, 4 different areas. Now let's look at the tornado threat for those areas. Looks like the tornado threat for the areas tonight is mainly across Oklahoma, and to 2%. And then we look at day 2, 2% there also. Which it is that time of year where tornadoes are kind of going to start getting quieter around that area of the United States. They start getting quieter around this time. It starts calming down. But you never know, it can change. It can change right as soon as I say that. I've jinxed things and it's happened before. So let's look at, okay, why is the ASCAM still up? I need the National Weather Service. So here's what it says on the National Weather Service from Louisville. The weather story: light showers tonight. Rain showers and occasional rumble of thunder are possible for southern Indiana and northern Kentucky. Tonight, rainfall totals up to a half an inch are forecast. Dry and mid-weather expected Saturday. More showers and storms to forecast for Sunday. And you can tell tonight it says rain across southern Indiana and north central Kentucky. Lows between 48 and 54 degrees. Saturday, partly cloudy skies. Highs between 73 and 78 degrees. And then Sunday, thunderstorms. High of 74 degrees. High of 74 to 80 degrees. So look at the 0 to 12 hour forecast. Okay, what's going on here? I'm gonna let that cycle back around, and then I'll get it. I'm gonna let that cycle back around. Yeah, I'm gonna let that cycle back around. Okay, tonight's low temperatures is going to be in the 50s. Precipitation mainly across Indiana. Precipitation totals across Indiana. And the low temperatures are going to be in the 50s tonight. Okay, I just said that. Okay, let's look at the 12-24 hour. High temperature is going to be in the 70s. I'm looking for a 80. Be shocked if I saw an 80. Heat index are going to remain in the 70s. Saturday afternoon winds are blowing west and west-southwest in the single digits. Afternoon wind gusts is in the teens. There's a 20 in Richmond and eastern Kentucky. Saturday's chance precipitation, there's none expected, and no precipitation total expected in the next 12 to 24 hours. But, so let's look at the weather graphics. We're going to hit that real quick. Here's tonight, just general thunderstorm areas, and it looks like the only severe weather threat is mainly across Oklahoma and Texas. Rest of this is just general thunderstorms. Stuff to water your garden plants. And then severe weather threat across Oklahoma and Texas. We're in the clear. The storms just I don't understand. The storms just completely missed the Ohio and Mississippi Valley. Weird. And then here's Sunday, severe weather across Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana. And we do have a chance of thunderstorms on Sunday, but again, it's going to be general thunderstorms, the kind that waters your garden and waters the ground, because we have been in a drought and we need the rain. We need the rain here. Because I'm not surprised if some people's grass ain't went brown. Ain't went from green to brown and got dried up. Would not be surprised on that. So let's close this tab off. We're going to look at the hourly forecast. I tell you what, I may have to zoom you guys in so you guys can see that a little better. So here's the hourly forecast. Yeah, I zoomed you guys in just a little bit. So it's in the 50s throughout the night. Yeah, 50s throughout the night. And of course we got a little bit of rain tomorrow. Then it goes into the 70s and then back down to 60s. And that's the hourly forecast. Now let me get this to focus real quick. There we go. There you go, guys. So here's the feel like temperatures. 50s, 60s. Oh, we got some roller coaster feel like temperatures. And next to the hourly. 70s and then it goes 60s into overnight Saturday into Sunday. And the dew points are in the 40s. 50s at 6 tomorrow afternoon. No, 6 in the morning, my bad. 9 in the morning, 55, 56. 57 at 11, 57 at noon, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the 50s. That's the dew points. And we're going to look at precipitation. I'm expecting to see some precipitation. My hand's getting tired, so I gotta hurry this up from holding the phone. Wish I had like a mini tripod or a rig that I could sit in the floor in front of my laptop. Like a rig or a mini tripod. Because all of my tripods are big. To put in front of my laptop for when I have to use it instead of holding this with my arm. Do I have a... I might have a selfie stick. Hold on. Hold on a minute, guys. Let me do this here. I'm going to put this on the selfie stick. See if this will work. Hold on a minute, guys. Nope. Selfie stick won't work. It's going to try to do a selfie stick. I had a selfie stick over there. Just something I can hold it against. But it ain't gonna work. Sorry if I made y'all a little dizzy. So precipitation, there's none gonna be in until about early tomorrow morning. And why is things opening up on my laptop? Yeah, there's definitely a little bit of precipitation at 8 in the morning. And then sunny tomorrow afternoon. So we're definitely going to get a little bit of rain in the morning. And probably middle of the day too. And I'm going to take a look at the humidity real quick. When I get off here, I'm going to toy around with the selfie stick and see if I can get this phone to balance on a selfie stick. But I'm beginning to think that my phone may be a little too big, but I'm gonna try the selfie stick. I forgot I had that laying over there by my cabinet. or dresser, my bad, mini dresser. Because I was going to take my selfie stick and hold it sideways. May just have to do a regular video of the weather update this next time I do it. So here's today's cloudy. It says cloudy today with mild conditions. See, I can't even hold this camera. That's why it's so this phone. That's why it's so shaky. So that's why I'm trying to figure out if I can get a selfie stick. So it's cloudy today with mild conditions. High is between high 69, low of 43. It's probably cold right now. Tomorrow it shows a light drizzle. 60% chance of precipitation. High of 72 degrees, low of 55 degrees with a chance of rain. Sunday, light rain. High of 75 degrees, low of 57 degrees. Feels like 80 degrees, chance of rain. Monday, light drizzle. High of 66 degrees, low of 50 degrees on Monday. Colder than Sunday. Tuesday, partly cloudy, mild conditions, high of 70 degrees, low of 45 degrees. Wednesday, light rain, chance of rain, high of 74 degrees, low of 55 degrees, 60% chance of precipitation on Wednesday. And then Thursday, cloudy, high of 60 degrees, low of 46 degrees, colder than Wednesday. I'm going to go ahead and end this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys got any questions or comments, comment in the comments of this video when it's posted. Thank you guys for watching, and have a great night.